We're talking about
down to business. What are we talking about today? Leadership development bonus. And you know what, guys? This is big money. This is big money. It's part of our unilevel. It's part of the back end of our plan. It's part of the Rolls Royce of the compensation plan. And it's major. And you know what? Who can guess what this bonus rewards you for? There's a clue on the screen.
Not sure.
I wonder what it does. Okay, we got leadership, we got requalification, we got being a leader. Clue is on the screen.
Yeah.
Like the first two words of the bonus. Like it's leadership. No, Kratzy, Maria. Okay, I'm gonna have to give you guys the answer. All right, it might be a little early today. Leadership development, developing leaders. Right. Thank you, Tim. All right, cool. Well, let's go ahead and dive into this, Mark, and show the folks how to do it.
All right. How to qualify for the leadership development bonus. First of all, you have to activate. That will take 200 PQV one time. Then you need to remain active, which means you'll have to do 100 PQV minimum. And if you want to just go above and beyond, you'll do 300 PQV and be a star achiever. And that is monthly. Then you need to qualify as a Sapphire or above, which is 15,000 in volume. And then you have to have qualified Sapphires or above in your personal enrollment tree.
There you go. That is how it works. All right. So let's dig into the details. The leadership development bonus is a reward for helping people in your organization, your personal enrollment tree, achieve the leadership ranks, which start at Sapphire. So when you help them become Sapphires, Rubies, Emeralds, Diamonds, etc., that's when you start to qualify for the leadership development bonus. Like Dr. Latrice just said in the chat, this reward is for leaders who create leaders. Okay. Now, this is not a level bonus. It is a generational bonus. Generations are comprised of multiple levels. Okay. Each generation is defined as the volume that occurs between one team member in your group who's achieved Sapphire or higher, and the next team member who has also done so. So for example, if you have someone on level 5 that hits Sapphire, and the next Sapphire isn't until level 25, level 5 to level 24 constitute a generation. Did you guys get that? If you got that, put it in, say, yes, I got it in the chat. I got it, right? So I'll say it again. A generation can comprise of multiple levels. It is defined as the space or the volume that occurs between one team member who has achieved Sapphire or higher and the next team member in that line who has also done so. So if you had, let's say, a Sapphire on level 5, and then all the way down on level 25, you have somebody who's a Sapphire or a Ruby or an Emerald, the generation is defined as level 5 to level 24. And all the volume that's in there is considered that generation. All right. So that's why this is such a big bonus, because it's not levels, right? And again, PET, personal enrollment tree. All right. Personal enrollment tree. So this is your lineage. These are your personal enrollment tree is the organization that starts with the people that you personally enrolled. All right. So there's no spillover in here that you can count. All right. Now, what volume goes into this? What volume goes into this? Customer purchases, ambassador reorders, monthly subscriptions, everything that gets paid in the unilevel also gets counted for the leadership development bonus. Okay. It pays through 4 generations. The higher your rank, the more generations you can get paid on. And it has dynamic compression, which means that you can get paid on more than 7 levels, and you can technically get paid on more than 4 generations, depending on the makeup of your organization. And you'll see what we mean when we do the example. Okay. Now, let's go over this exactly. So when you are a Sapphire, you qualify for generation 1 of the leadership development bonus. It's an extra 2% on top of what you would earn on that generation in the unilevel. So it's another bite at the apple. It's a second bite at the apple. It's a second payout on the same volume, another 2%. All right. And this is, of course, if you're a Sapphire with Sapphires underneath you. You don't get this automatically when you go Sapphire. You have to be a Sapphire, and then you have to have Sapphires and above underneath you. Remember, this is leadership development. So just because you became a leader doesn't get you the bonus. You have to start developing leaders to get the bonus. All right. Ruby gets you the second generation, 3%. Emerald gets you the third generation, 4%. Diamond and above gets you the fourth generation, also, 5%. So in this particular case, the numbers go up, right? The numbers go up as the generations go deeper. So the bonus actually gets bigger. So this is actually pretty cool. Mark, what I'm going to do so that I can control the pace of the example is I'm going to take control and go from the slides here. All right, cool. There we go. All right. So we have an example. I want you guys to stay with me. Okay. So you can follow the example of how this works. Now, what's exciting about this is that Mark and I are showing you how the bonus works. But later on in today's training, we have a master of leadership development coming on to show you how to do that in your group, how to develop leaders in your group. Can anybody guess who's coming on to do this training? And if you're watching this recording, I want to encourage you to watch that recording also. Maybe if you're watching this in the playlist on YouTube, I want to make sure that you also watch the subsequent leadership development training video from the master himself, Mr. COC Blue Diamond, Cesar Munoz. Okay. All right. So let's get into an example of how this works so you guys can see the money. If you guys want to see the money, let's see, show me the money in the chats. I want to see, show me the money in the chats. Do I see, show me the money? Okay, I'm not going to show you the money until I see, show me the money. All right. I'm seeing, show me the money. Christy, the listener, says, show me the money. Shivani says, show me the money. Brenda, Yvette, Jacqueline, Krodzi, they all say, show me the money. Okay, let's get down to business. I'm going to show you the money. All right, Carrie Ann wants us to show her the money. Kevin Clayton said, show the money. Okay, here we go. We're going to show the money. All right. So this is a diamond organization. Okay. Now, remember, this works for Sapphire. It starts at Sapphire, but this is a diamond organization. Okay. And as you can see, this diamond has multiple legs, multiple lines of business. And for the sake of illustration, they have one line where the person that they enrolled has achieved emerald. And they also have a line where the person that they have enrolled has achieved ruby. Now, down that emerald line, there's also a ruby. And there are then 1, 2, 3, 4 sapphires down in that leg. Okay. So this diamond has developed multiple leaders. In the ruby leg, there are 2 sapphires. So this is the setup of an organization that qualifies to get the leadership development bonus. Okay. So let's take a look at what goes into the bonus. That section between that first emerald, right, which is a sapphire or above, and that ruby on level 4, that volume that occurs in between there is considered generation 1. Okay. So if you're taking a look, this is not, and by the way, this drawing is not meant to be super accurate, but what is meant to show is that the generation is the business that occurs, that emerald's business outside of that next leader, all of it. So we're going to call it 35,000 volume in this particular case. We're going to say that in that outside, but that in that emerald's business outside of that ruby's business, let's say that person has created 35,000 volume for the month. You already got paid on that in the unilevel, and now you're going to get paid again, another 2%. All right. Which in this case is another $700. Okay. Now that's generation 1. How many levels in the leadership development bonus does an emerald get? How many generations? I'm sorry. Does diamond get? 4, right? So let's go find generation 2. Generation 2 is the volume that occurs between that ruby on level 4 and that next leader, which in this case is a sapphire on level 10. So all the business that happens in between there is considered generation 2. You guys see it now? I'm highlighting it. You've already been paid. This diamond's already been paid on this volume in the unilevel. And let's call it another 50,000 CV. But now they get a second bite at the apple because they've developed leaders and getting a leadership development bonus. They get paid generation 2, 3%, which is another $1,500. 50,000 times 0.3, 3%. Okay. All right. Now, how many generations does a diamond get paid on in the leadership development bonus? It's 4. And this diamond has done his or her work of developing leaders. So guess what? We've got this next generation that starts with that sapphire on level 10. And it goes up to that next sapphire on level 13. So all the volume that happens in between there is considered generation 3. Remember, already been paid on it. Get paid on it again. Let's call it 20,000 CV that's happening in between there. We didn't draw all the people, but there's a lot of people in there. All right. That's 4%. So that's another $800. Okay. Now let's go to generation 4 because that diamond gets paid on generation 4 as well. Generation 4 starts with who? That sapphire on level 13. And it ends with the sapphire on level 16. All right. But what I wanted to show you in this part of the example is that it can go, that sapphire on level 13, their business expands beyond widthwise that other sapphire on level 16. So there's more volume that's being calculated as part of that fourth generation, sorry. Let's call it 30,000 CV this time. You guys are going crazy. I'm just watching the chat smart. People are like, oh my God, this is the first time I'm understanding this. 30,000 CV is wrapped up in that generation. Gonna get paid on it again. 5%. It's another $1,500. Okay. So altogether, oops, sorry. I meant to show you something. You guys want to see something cool? Remember dynamic compression. So this diamond is also going to pick up the generations that people in their organization do not qualify to get. For example, if you guys can try to follow my cursor, this emerald also qualifies for leadership development bonuses. Okay. So this section here that's generation 2 for the diamond is generation 1 for the emerald. This section that's generation 3 for the diamond is generation 2 for the emerald. This section that's generation 4 for the diamond is generation 3 for the emerald. But emeralds only get paid 3 generations. So what happens to this 4th generation that down here that starts with the sapphire on level 16 that the emerald is not qualified to get paid on? It gets paid to the diamond as generation 5. Let's say there's 60,000 points in there. Because the diamond is the only diamond, the diamond's going to pick it up at another 5%. That's 60,000 points, which is another $3,000. This is making sense? Janice says this is now making total sense. Janice, it makes dollars and cents, right? So in just this line of business, this diamond just made an extra $7,500. You know, when Holton Buggs was drawing out this plan, our visionary leader, our CEO, our founder, when he was sitting across the table having me write out the plan and he's calling it out, I'm going crazy because I'm like you guys, I'm starting to get it. I'm like, oh my God, this plan pays so much, right? And he said that in his last company, the leadership development bonus literally represented about 50% of his check. And some of you guys know what kind of money he was making. So this is a huge bonus, right? It's not the easiest to explain. It's not the easiest to understand, but it is the easiest to spend. All right. Okay. Now, how many of you realize that this diamond doesn't have just one leadership leg? Obviously, right? So here's what's happening. That all of that money, that 7,500 goes to that diamond. But guess what? They have this other leg here that starts with the ruby. And that space between the ruby and the sapphire underneath the ruby constitutes generation 1. Let's say there's 25,000 points there. That at 2%, diamond's going to get $500. Then there's a big generation 2. You guys see that? You guys see that? You see that big generation 2? That space between that sapphire and the next sapphire, all of that is a generation. All of the volume that happens in there is a generation. Let's call it 30,000 points of volume that this diamond's already been paid on the unilevel, but going to get paid 3% again, another $900. And then there's a generation 3 on this side. And that is, let's call it 50,000 points. It's another 4% for this diamond. Let's call it $2,000. So altogether, that's $3,400 getting paid to this diamond on that side. $10,900 of Mo money in the leadership development bonus. Why? Because you created leaders. This plan is rewarding you for helping other people advance through the ranks. It's an opposite behavior of traditional corporate environments where you want to keep other people down. But what happens here is that the more leaders you create, the more leaders you develop, the more people you help to advance rank, the more money you earn. And now you understand why these diamonds are sitting in the front of our events, going crazy, as we recognize the sapphires, the rubies, and the emeralds, and they see their people crossing the stage, these diamonds are going crazy. Why? Because not only did they help those people earn more and achieve more, but because they did that, the boomerang comes back and they earn more as well. Tammy Clayton says, please excuse me while I pick up my mouth off the floor. There you go. Right? And Mark, this is why it was such a good idea for us to break this up and do this one piece at a time. Because I think whenever we've done the whole comp plan all at once, by the time we get to this part, people are already baked. But now when we can just talk about this, I think people understand it super clear.
Yeah. Yeah. And think about it. Johnny Wimbrey has how many diamonds on his team? He's got a blue diamond. And how many diamonds?
Yep.
He gets all that volume. He gets
all that volume, all those leadership development bonuses.
Yeah.
Right. So you don't want to be the only sapphire, because if you are, you don't get leadership development bonuses. Right. You want to help. The first thing you want to do when you go sapphire is help other people do the same. So that's it. That's our training for today. We broke down the leadership development bonus.
Looking to start a business from home? The business from home. We are the fastest growing home-based business company in the world that's helping ordinary people just like you and I to get out of debt, generate additional income streams in their life, and creating extraordinary success stories globally. We've got the right systems in place, world-class servant leadership, wealthy compensation plan, and the utmost support you need to start local and go global. To get started, simply text us on WhatsApp, #ReadyToBoom on +356 9946 3303. Again, text #ReadyToBoom on WhatsApp on the number +356 9946 3303 right now. Let's get ready to boom. Are you trying to find the best deals online when it comes to your travels? I know, it could be a nightmare. Let me save you some time and of course some money. I Go For Less, the one and only platform you need to go and find the best deals online, from flights, hotels, weeks, cruises, and more. This is a completely free travel booking platform where you can save up to 70% on your travels. Cool! Here's what you've got to do. Step 1. Go to bit.ly/travel savings code page. You'll find the link in the description below. Step 2. Find and enter the code you see on the page to create your free account. Step 3. Start saving. Anytime, anywhere. When it is time for you to book your next trip. Pretty simple, right? And did I tell you it is free? And it's also forever to use and to keep. Again, go on bit.ly/travel savings code page, use the code you'll find on the page, and start enjoying your savings.